Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's speed build is of a duplex that I was inspired to create after looking at tons of houses on Google Images. This is my first ever attempt at creating a duplex, and I'm very happy how it turned out. The floor plans were hard to figure out, but I am happy with the way that it turned out. I used show hidden objects in debug to be able to find the objects that I needed, such as garages and cars. So I took my time building this house. I took my time with the landscaping and basically the overall style of this house. It did take almost 6 hours to create this house. That's why it's a 30-minute video, because I wanted to make sure that everything was absolutely perfect, and I'm just super happy that I get to show my creativity with building houses a little bit more, and especially in a two-family home. So the left duplex, the left house, I believe, if I remember correctly, has 3 bedrooms and I think 3 bathrooms. It might be 2.5 or 2. And the second house has 2 bedrooms and I think maybe 2 bathrooms. I can't really remember because this build took a very long time to do. But as you can see here, I am working on the roof, and I was trying to figure out how to not make the roof look weird, so I go back and forth between choosing the roof that I want, and I want both of them, each side, to look unique. I don't want them to be the same style with roofing and windows. There are a few similarities with the door in the front part where you can see the columns and things that I used for this house, but I do go back and forth between the windows and some of the roofing that I do, because it just I was not happy with how the roofing situation was turning out. So I decided that I would try my hardest to make it look right and correct, and it took a lot, because I did some things that I've never done before in this game with building cheats. I was going to use the tool mod, but I decided against it and to just go for it. And also, before I forget to mention, this house also has no custom content whatsoever. Everything is base game and a few expansion packs. And also, each side of the house in the backyard, they each have their own fenced in yard. In the front, I wanted to make sure that everything looked perfect, as well as in the back. I didn't go overboard with things. So here I am adding the color to the house. I was going back and forth between using like the brick or having the same kind of wall, I forget what you call it, like siding for the house. I didn't want it to look the same. So I go back and forth just to go back and forth between creating things, and this side of the roof had the color of the other side of the house on it, so I had to place another roof to make sure it matched the left side and make sure the left and right had separate colors. And it also took me a bit to figure out what flooring options that I wanted to use outside. Both are different. I don't know if my K-Hippie mods turned off. I mean, obviously they're off for this video. I'm not sure what happened. Some of my mods decided to run out and not show up. So I'm just building with the natural Sims 4-ish look. And for the garage and the walkway in the front, that was also another hard thing to try to figure out. I wanted it to look unique. I didn't want it to look the same in a way. Like, I don't know, I didn't want to use the flooring tiles for the floor. I wanted it to be like free-handed almost. And also, landscaping this house, I do go back and forth between it. Both sides of the house don't really, they have a couple of plants and bushes that are the same, but I wanted them to be unique because, as you know, that most people have different yard styles. So I tried my best to add different kinds of plants and a different look on each side, which was very challenging. Landscaping has always been a really big challenge for me, and it also depends on the style of build that I make. So here I am making the backyard fences for the house. I forget the size of this lot. It might be 40 by 30, but I didn't use like the entire backyard in certain spots because I wanted it to be like some breathable area if you guys wanted to do something with it. So for this part of the house, I wanted to add the color of the back porches to match the floor. Back there, instead of using the terrain tool, because I thought if I would mix it, it just wouldn't match. So I don't know. I do like it, but I'm also trying to figure out what it is what else I could have done. I know some people use the floor mats that look like tile, but I don't think I have those, or I just haven't looked. But I wanted to keep everything different between the front of the houses and the back of the houses, and also both houses have their own pools. I didn't want them to look the same, so I just made sure that each style was different. So here I am going on with the stairs and trying to make the stairs look unique. At first I was like so confused at what I can do and how I wanted to do them, but it eventually came to me. And also, this is my first time building with the platforms. For some reason it didn't want to work, or my brain just kept forgetting that I actually needed to click on one of those different buttons to make sure that I can place the platforms. But again, it is my first time using the platforms, and it was challenging, but I tried as hard as I could to remember how to do it. And the floor plan on the second level, they were very hard to do. I kept getting confused that I was building two separate houses, and the ideas just did not want to come to me. I did eventually get to the final conclusion of the floor plans, but I needed to remember how I wanted to do it and how I wanted them to look. So it does change around a little bit, especially if the rooms or the bathrooms just didn't fit the aesthetic I was going for, because I wanted to make sure that I had bedrooms, bathrooms, and laundry in a reasonable spot. And I also wanted to make sure that there was enough room in the bedrooms. So, so it wouldn't feel claustrophobic or super small, like a tight area. So I was also struggling with the lights, but for the garage, I decided to use the debug lights and the cars, The only problem with that is that I couldn't find the other cars that I wanted to use that are in show and hidden objects. They just did not want to show up. And also I had a hard time trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the front floor. So both houses have the same kind of wood flooring in the front, and then I decided to go ahead and use some funky colors here, because normally I'm used to using like browns and grays and whites. So I used blue for the one house, and I also had to build a platform by the door, so because the door was up high, and on the right house the door is up higher than the left, so I had to make the platform a little bit higher on the right side of the house. And also the coloring of what I wanted to do was difficult. It was so hard not to just use all one color in the walls downstairs. Downstairs. So I just opted to go with a couple of different colors, especially separating between the kitchen. So here I am creating the first kitchen, and this was also a little bit difficult because things did not want to the word clip is not the word that I'm looking for, but they didn't want to connect easily, so I had to keep playing around with moving walls and making sure things just didn't look funky. And the half walls that I built kept changing colors, and I had to keep adding them back. So that was that. And here I just add a simple table and chairs, and then I get to working on the color of the rest of the house on the first level. And here is where I decided to add the living room. I really didn't have an idea. Normally also furnishing isn't my best thing, but with some of the videos that I've been watching, I clutter houses and then I don't add enough. And I really wanted this to look like someone just moved in. I don't want it to be cluttered like they moved everything in, or haven't really bought like a whole bunch of things into the house. So I make sure that there is extra space. So if you wanted to add clutter, you can. And also on the first level there is no bathroom, so visitors would have to go upstairs and use one of the bathrooms, or you can just kick them out and make them not use your bathroom. I don't know. But also for this light right here into the plant, it just did not want to sit where I wanted it to sit, so I just let it clip in the floor a little bit just to change the look and the height of it. And I wanted to keep the left side of the house kind of more on the base game. So the left side of the house is the base game objects. I don't think I used any objects on the left side of the house that included other packs. I wanted to do it that way so it would be easier for you guys when you have base game. And here I am up on the top of the second level, getting the rooms ready. And the first room that I created, which is this bluish greenish room, I made it for boys. It kind of just flowed that way, so I added a bunk bed and an extra bed. So I think in this house about 5 Sims live in this one, and then maybe 3 on the other. I think so that's 8 Sims, so 3 on the right and then 5 on the left, just so you could have extra space. If you wanted to have like pets, you would have to install the mod where you can add multiple people, or you can just make it into one bedroom, or just have one bed in that room and just figure out what you wanted to do. But I just wanted to make sure that I kind of balanced it out and filled in the rooms. So here is the smallest bathroom in this house. It's just small, simple, nothing really to say here about it, just looking simple. I didn't want to clutter it with a whole bunch of stuff, so it's just pretty simple. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's just that. So then I am moving on to, I think this was the master bedroom. Yeah, that's the master bedroom. This one was so much fun for me to build. The second room kind of threw me off because it was like bigger on the right side of the house, but I really enjoyed going back to like my browns. I wanted to make this house kind of all flow. I know that the downstairs has blue and one of the rooms is green, but I wanted to make sure that I decided to give myself a little bit of comfort going into these dark colors and adding a few things here and there. And my whole idea is that the wife loves plants, so that's why there's a lot of plants throughout this house, and just trying to make sure I get some stuff so it's not bland, like using those counters or shelves there, and just not relying on the objects that are only for bedrooms to be here, because I'm trying to look for different ways to furnish houses. So here we are. I believe this is the master, yeah, this is the master bathroom. It is quite small, but it has a his and her sink and the shower, and I didn't really want to make it bigger. I had plans on making it bigger, but the right side of the house has a bigger master bathroom, so you guys will see that. I just wanted it to be different again, so this one has a smaller master bathroom. So here's where I decided to put in the laundry. I had a little bit of a hard time trying to choose what I should put here, but again, in the hallways it's just laundry and I think maybe a bookshelf or table, a coffee table somewhere. I didn't want to go overboard and make it look absolutely ridiculous. So here I am making the girls' room because I'm just like, there's a bed for 2 boys, so hopefully there's enough space. So for this room, I was thinking about making a teenage daughter's room, but she also has a couple of things for when she was a child. So you can see some of her childhood pictures and things, and her stuffed animal on, or in her room. And that's kind of how I wanted it. I didn't want to make it like 100% teenage stuff because we really didn't have that in the base game. So I wanted to do like a mixture of both, but this is a teenage girl's room who still secretly loves her stuffed animals and her unicorn and things like that. So that was my idea, making this room, and I was very, very pleased with it. I'm super happy how this room turned out. Like, I would live in this room. I just loved it, and it was super easy to find things with the matching colors and the pinks. I didn't want it to be too bright, but I think this one turned out like it's like a muted girly color, except for like the hot pinks and stuff. But that was my favorite room. So here we are going into the hallway, just adding a bookshelf. I was thinking about adding an easel, but this family did not stick out to me like they would paint. It's more of the mom is a gardener, so I add a few things in the garden for her to make plants or to grow plants and crops. So here I am working on the landscaping a little bit more out front. I don't know how I came up with this idea. Oh, and also before I forget, if anybody knows how to make the platforms have like a color to them except for that gray base, please let me know. No matter what I tried to do in my game, it just wanted to be gray. I think I have seen people use the like siding colors on it before, but I'm not sure how, so I don't know. Anyways, the backyard is pretty simple: a grill, a table and chairs, some planters, and some pool chairs that I added. And I do add a couple of more plants, and I think I do add planters here too. I was just gonna go all shrubs, but then I'm just like, no, that wouldn't look good. So I just left some of it open, but I do think I added some more. Yeah, here we go. So the mother can plant her garden and have some things. I didn't want it to be cluttered with landscaping. So pretty simple. And what am I? Oh, I was trying to figure out if I should add something in the garage. But anyways, we are moving on to the right side of the house. Again, the same thing with the kitchen, adding the platform, the kitchen on top of the platform. But this kitchen is a completely different style than the other one. Now, this side of the house, I really did have trouble with figuring out what colors I should use with the walls and the floors. So with the kitchen, I kind of went outside of my comfort zone, and then with the rest of the house, I kind of stuck in my comfort zone because I didn't want to just put stuff wherever I wanted to just because I wanted to get it done. So that's what I did, and I do move these cupboards down a little bit because they were clipping on the roof, on the second level floor, so I do move those down. And I add a couple of things here. I did want to add a dishwasher, but I didn't, and also the kitchen light changes. So here is where I decide to figure out where the living room is. I wanted the living room to look different on the right side of the house, so here I go with the yellows, and then I do the wood panels on the wall, or the wood color on the wall, and I wanted to try to do yellows and things because I was starting to get very uncomfortable with going outside of my comfort zone. So on this side of the house, I have, I think, The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs, Laundry Day, and Get Famous for a few things here. And I do have some base game items as well. On this house, I made it where this particular Sim and her family, her and her husband, like the wife is very big on decorating and yellow and just having a lot of things. So this side of the house does have a little bit more because I feel like this Sim has lived in this house for a while, and she knows what she wants and she gets what she wants. This side of the house is probably the most expensive. The left side of the house is the least expensive, but on this side I was just like, yeah, I can't have both families on a budget. So and I also did not build this house on a budget, by the way, so I think it's a little bit over 200,000 simoleons. So you will need cheats if you're trying to get your Sims and then you could make their money go back down to the thousands, the lower thousands, or the 20,000 simoleons. So here I added an office for her, and I was just trying to figure out what to do. So this Sim also likes planting. She likes planting, working on her computer, and just, I don't know, I kind of feel like this Sim might be a little bit snobby towards her neighbors, like she's trying to be better than other people, but she kind of has that naughty and nice about her. She's hot and she's cold. She's nice, but she always wants to be the best. She wants everything to be perfect. She wants Basically, she wants to be like Nacy Landgrabb, but on a better version without, I guess, the big house. So that's why she bought this house and moved in, because she doesn't need the huge house and all the glamour. She just wants a small place where she can decorate, which clearly she did. Her husband had no say in how things were going to be decorated. She just did whatever she wanted. So that's why things look the way they do. She is just happy the way she is and how she decorated basically the whole house, the whole room. So really the only room she didn't have a say on was the kids' room. And I can't remember if I did a boy or girl. No, I think I did a girl's room in there also. So she only has one daughter, her only child. So I do add laundry here, and I do try to add different curtains on this side of the house also. So that's why you see different things and different curtains, because I didn't want it to be the same. I kept telling myself, the houses cannot be the same. They can't. So it was hard, but I pushed myself to complete this house, because again, in 6 hours of creating this house all in one go, including the voiceover, it was very difficult. But anyways, as I said before, this sim is snobby. She didn't want her husband to have any say in what she did. Her bed is a bed for queens. Her curtains are yellow. Her walls are tan and green. She likes it. She's just a pretty interesting sim. She's high class and definitely does not have a budget. She likes spending money. She likes fancy things. She just does not like anything that is not up to par for her. So I was thinking that, and it also was kind of hard for me to figure out the room. I'm just like, okay, let's bust out the countertops and the cupboards, the cabinets, whatever you want to call them, and make it that way. It was kind of hard. I was going to put a TV or an office in here, but I decided against it because she already has her computer downstairs, and I don't need to add another one. So also, we are moving on to the master bathroom, which also has to have a giant tub and a fancy shower to match her room with the pink bathroom, and the tiles and his and her sink that are far apart. She's just crazy sim, but the bathroom is pretty simple as well. Not overly cluttered, just a couple of minimal items here and there. And her fancy fur rugs. She just loves those rugs for her bathroom. And here we are for her only daughter's bedroom. I do make it green, and this is her bathroom. She has a shower, a tub, her own sink, so she's taking care of everything by herself. Her mother wanted to make sure that she didn't have to share a bathroom with anybody ever in her life. So her daughter, she has a really nice mom for letting her have a bathroom and everything. But we are getting on to her room, adding a desk and just a couple of things here and there. I'm not really entirely sure what I added, but you guys will see coming up soon. And we are coming to the last minute of this video. I do want to say thank you so much for watching this video and hanging out with me. If you would like to see more of this, please give this video a thumbs up and also leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because a lot more builds are coming your way. And I have a whole list that I want to do for this house building thing that I'm on. So once again, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and happy simming. Bye.
Pick it up from the top, hit restart.